Life is a remarkable odyssey of awakening, filled with countless moments of struggle, revelation, and profound transformation. For those who walk the sacred path of higher consciousness, those who have been chosen to experience a deeper connection with the universe, true awakening rarely manifests in youth. It blossoms magnificently at the age of 40, when the soul has weathered enough storms to truly appreciate the sunlight. This is when experience merges with intuition, when confusion transforms into crystal clarity, and when your divine purpose finally reveals itself with undeniable certainty. If you have ever felt misunderstood by those around you, if you've sensed that you were somehow different, somehow meant for something more significant than what society has offered you, know that everything you've experienced until now has been purposeful preparation. Every heartbreak, every setback, every moment of doubt and confusion, these were not random hardships. They were carefully orchestrated spiritual lessons, molding you into the enlightened being you were always destined to become. As we explore these profound revelations together, understand that if this message has found its way to you today, it is through divine orchestration. There are no accidents in the cosmic order of things. You were meant to receive these words at this exact moment in your journey. If this truth resonates within the depths of your soul, type 1111 in the comments as an affirmation of your alignment with this sacred knowledge and as an invitation for blessings to flow abundantly into your life. And if you find value in these spiritual insights, consider joining our community of awakened souls by subscribing to this channel, where we walk this enlightened path together. Now, let us explore the 10 profound reasons why the life of a chosen one truly begins at 40. The first reason is that you have mastered the sacred art of surrender. Throughout your earlier decades, life likely felt like an endless struggle, a constant battle to maintain control over circumstances, people, and outcomes. You probably clung desperately to relationships, beliefs, and situations that were clearly not serving your highest good, simply because they were familiar. You feared the unknown more than you feared your own stagnation. But something miraculous happens as you approach 40. You begin to understand that surrender is not defeat, it is liberation. You realize that releasing what no longer serves you isn't about loss, but about creating sacred space for something infinitely more aligned with your true nature. This profound wisdom doesn't emerge overnight. It comes from years of painful lessons, from repeatedly hitting walls until you finally understand that some doors are not meant to be forced open. By 40, you recognize that letting go of toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and outdated versions of yourself is the most powerful act of self-love you can practice. When you release the people who drain your energy, the beliefs that imprison your spirit, and the emotions that weigh down your soul, you create an opening for peace, abundance, and joy to flow effortlessly into your experience. At 40, change no longer terrifies you. You welcome it with open arms, understanding that every ending simply heralds the beginning of something far more magnificent. The second revelation is that the illusion of time no longer holds power over you. For decades, you likely lived with the constant pressure of an invisible clock ticking away in the background of your consciousness. Society convinced you that success must be achieved by certain ages, that milestones must be reached according to an arbitrary timeline. Perhaps you felt the anxiety of falling behind, or the pressure to accomplish things within culturally accepted timeframes. But as you cross the threshold of 40, you begin to see time through spiritual eyes rather than through the limited lens of human expectations. You start to deeply understand and trust in divine timing. You realize that the universe operates not on human schedules, but on perfect cosmic orchestration. You no longer rush into situations out of fear of missing opportunities. Instead, you move with deliberate intention, trusting that what is genuinely meant for you cannot possibly pass you by. This spiritual perspective brings a profound sense of peace, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the present moment without anxiety about the future or regret about the past. You know with unshakable certainty that you are precisely where you are meant to be on your soul's journey. Can you feel this truth resonating within your being right now? This is the wisdom that awaits you at 40. The third divine revelation is that you finally discover your authentic purpose. In your younger years, you likely wandered through various paths and experiences, trying to find meaning and fulfillment in external achievements, relationships, or material possessions. You may have changed careers multiple times, explored different lifestyles, or sought validation through accomplishments that society deemed important. Yet nothing ever quite satisfied that deep yearning within your soul. It was as if you were trying to fill an infinite space with finite things. But at 40, the puzzle pieces of your life experiences suddenly begin to form a coherent picture. The seemingly random events, the challenges, the unexpected detours, they all start to make perfect sense. You recognize that every single experience was preparing you for your true calling. The hardships refined your character, the diverse skills you developed now serve a greater purpose, and the wisdom you gained through suffering becomes the light you can share with others. At this sacred age, you no longer question your path. Instead, you feel an undeniable pull toward your divine mission. You step into your purpose with confidence, knowing that you now possess everything required to fulfill your soul's contract with the universe. The fourth transformation is that you no longer seek external validation. Throughout much of your earlier life, there was likely a persistent desire to be understood, accepted, and approved of by others. Whether from family members who never quite saw the real you, friends who couldn't grasp your vision, colleagues who underestimated your potential, or a society that tried to force you into predefined boxes. The need for validation may have shaped many of your decisions. Perhaps you dimmed your light to make others comfortable or silenced your truth to gain acceptance. By the time you reach 40, this need for external approval naturally dissolves. You finally recognize that the only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from your own soul and from divine consciousness. You stop seeking permission to be authentically yourself. You no longer feel compelled to explain your choices, defend your beliefs, or prove your worth to anyone. You stand firmly in your truth, confident in your unique journey, and energetically aligned with your highest self. This newfound spiritual sovereignty is profoundly liberating, allowing you to live according to your soul's wisdom rather than society's expectations. Can you imagine the freedom that comes with releasing the weight of others' judgments? This is the gift that awaits you at 40. The fifth divine sign is that your spiritual awakening intensifies dramatically. While you may have had glimpses of spiritual awareness throughout your life, at 40, the veil between dimensions becomes significantly thinner. The distractions and illusions of the material world begin to fade, allowing you to perceive the intricate cosmic web that connects all living things. You start to recognize the sacred synchronicities that have been guiding you all along, the seemingly coincidental meetings that changed your life path, the perfect timing of opportunities, the meaningful numbers that appear repeatedly, the dreams that contain profound messages. Your intuition, once just a quiet whisper easily drowned out by logical thinking and societal conditioning, now speaks with crystal clarity and unwavering certainty. Meditation, prayer, and spiritual practices become essential aspects of your daily existence as you cultivate an ever-deepening connection to source energy. You no longer look outside yourself for answers because you recognize that the most profound wisdom emerges from within. Your spiritual awakening intensifies, filling you with a sense of divine purpose and an unshakable knowing that you are being guided by forces greater than yourself. At 40, the spiritual dimensions of existence become as real and tangible to you as the physical world. The sixth transformation is that your energetic presence becomes increasingly powerful. With 4 decades of life experience, you develop an acute awareness of subtle energies, both your own and those of the people and environments around you. You become highly sensitive to vibrations, instantly recognizing when something aligns with your soul's purpose and when it does not. This energetic discernment becomes your superpower. By 40, you no longer waste your precious life force on people, situations, or environments that drain your energy. You understand the sacred importance of protecting your peace and preserving your vital energy for the divine mission you're here to fulfill. The toxic relationships, self-doubt, and negative influences that once held power over you now bounce off your strengthened energetic field. You have built an invisible yet impenetrable shield of self-awareness and spiritual wisdom. As your vibrational frequency naturally elevates, you begin to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that perfectly align with your highest self. Your manifestation abilities strengthen as you learn to harness the creative power of focused intention, genuine gratitude, and unwavering faith. You realize that you are not simply a passive observer of reality. You are a conscious creator, shaping your experience with every thought, emotion, and action. At 40, you finally understand how to work with universal energy laws rather than struggling against them. Have you already begun to notice this shift in your own energy field? This awareness only deepens as you continue your journey. The seventh spiritual milestone is that you embrace solitude as sacred rather than fearing it as loneliness. In your younger years, you may have dreaded being alone, filling every moment with distractions, relationships, and activities to avoid facing the silence. But by 40, you develop a profound appreciation for solitary moments, recognizing them as precious opportunities for spiritual connection, self-discovery, and divine communion. You no longer view time alone as emptiness to be filled, but as a sanctuary where the deepest wisdom and clearest guidance emerge. Instead of seeking constant external stimulation, you find profound joy and peace in your own company, using these sacred moments of solitude to realign with your purpose and rejuvenate your spirit. The fear of loneliness that may have haunted your earlier decades completely dissolves as you realize that you are never truly alone. Your guides, angels, ancestors, and higher self are always with you, supporting your journey in ways both seen and unseen. In this embrace of sacred solitude, you cultivate unshakable inner strength, genuine self-love, and a profound sense of spiritual completeness. The silence that once felt uncomfortable now feels like coming home to yourself. This comfort with solitude empowers you to move through life with authentic confidence, no longer dependent on others for your sense of worth or fulfillment. At 40, you finally understand that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with your own soul. The eighth divine revelation is that you finally give yourself permission to live authentically. For decades, you likely lived under the weight of expectations, from family members who projected their unfulfilled dreams onto you, from a society that tried to standardize your unique journey, and from your own conditioned mind that created limitations where none truly existed. You may have repeatedly sacrificed your own dreams, desires, and authentic expression to please others or to fit into roles that were never aligned with your soul's true nature. But at 40, a profound shift occurs within your consciousness. You suddenly realize with crystal clarity that life is far too precious and fleeting to spend it living according to someone else's script. You finally give yourself full permission to pursue your passions without apology, to express your unique gifts without dimming your light, and to walk your spiritual path without seeking approval. You no longer measure your success by external achievements or societal standards. Instead, you define fulfillment on your own terms, in alignment with your soul's wisdom. This is the beginning of true freedom. The moment you step fully into your divine destiny without compromise or hesitation, you reclaim your personal power, establish healthy boundaries, and honor your own needs with the same reverence you show to others. Life becomes your masterpiece, and you are now the artist, painting with the full spectrum of colors that represent your authentic self. With this spiritual liberation, you move forward with unshakable purpose and the profound understanding that the most magnificent chapter of your existence is just beginning. Do you feel this calling toward authentic living stirring within your soul? This is the divine invitation that awaits at 40. The ninth transformation is that you develop unwavering trust in the universe. In your earlier years, challenges and setbacks likely triggered fear, anxiety, and doubt. You may have questioned why certain difficulties appeared in your path or felt victimized by circumstances beyond your control. Each obstacle seemed like punishment rather than opportunity, each closed door a rejection rather than protection. But by the time you reach 40, your perspective undergoes a radical transformation. Through countless experiences of witnessing how apparent disasters later revealed themselves as blessings in disguise, you develop a profound trust in the perfect unfolding of your life journey. You recognize that the universe has always been conspiring in your favor, even when events appeared catastrophic on the surface. This deep trust isn't blind faith or passive acceptance. It's a knowing that comes from witnessing the divine order repeatedly revealing itself in your life. At 40, you no longer resist the flow of life. Instead, you surrender to it with the wisdom that comes from understanding that every experience, whether judged as good or bad by the limited human perspective, serves your highest evolution. When challenges arise, you face them with calm confidence, knowing they contain precisely the lessons or redirections your soul requires. This unshakable trust liberates you from anxiety about the future and allows you to live with an open heart, regardless of external circumstances. You finally understand that you are being held in the loving embrace of a universe that knows exactly what you need for your highest growth and greatest joy. The 10th and perhaps most profound revelation is that you finally understand the true meaning of love. Throughout your earlier decades, love may have seemed complicated, conditional, and frequently disappointing. Relationships likely came with expectations, power struggles, and the pain of trying to merge with others before you fully knew yourself. You may have confused attachment for love, sacrifice for devotion, or passion for spiritual connection. But as you cross the threshold of 40, your understanding of love expands beyond anything you previously imagined possible. You begin to experience love not merely as an emotion directed toward specific people, but as the very fabric of existence itself. You recognize that love is not something to be sought outside yourself, but a divine force that flows through you and connects you to all living beings. This expanded awareness transforms how you relate to everyone and everything in your life. You no longer love with expectation or attachment. Instead, you love with freedom, compassion, and reverence for the divine spark that exists within all creation. At 40, you understand that the greatest act of love is being authentically yourself and allowing others the same freedom. You release the need to control or change those around you, accepting them with the same compassion you've finally learned to offer yourself. This profound understanding of love heals ancient wounds, dissolves karmic patterns, and opens your heart to connections of genuine spiritual depth rather than ego-based attachment. You realize that love in its purest form is not about possession, but about presence, being fully present with yourself, with others, and with the divine consciousness that permeates all existence. Can you feel this expanded love beginning to blossom within your heart? This is the sacred gift that awaits you at 40 and beyond. If you are approaching this transformative age, currently experiencing it, or have moved beyond it, understand with absolute certainty that 40 is not the beginning of decline, as society might have you believe. It is the threshold to the most magnificent chapter of your existence. The challenges, lessons, and experiences of your first 4 decades were never random or meaningless. They were purposeful preparation, carefully orchestrated to shape you into the awakened being you were always destined to become. Everything you have endured has strengthened your spirit. Every tear has watered the garden of your wisdom. Every moment of confusion has led you closer to clarity. You have not wasted time. You have been in divine preparation. And now you stand at the precipice of your true awakening, ready to step into the fullness of your power and purpose with the confidence that only life experience can bestow. This is your time to rise. This is your moment to embrace your divine calling with the wisdom, strength, and spiritual maturity you have spent decades cultivating. The universe has been guiding you all along, and now you are ready to consciously co-create with it. The light within you has never been brighter, and the world has never been more in need of the unique gifts only you can offer. If this message resonates with the truth you feel within your soul, type 11 in the comments to affirm your alignment with this divine wisdom and to invite an abundance of blessings into your life journey. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to continue receiving spiritual guidance and support as you walk this sacred path of awakening. Remember always that you are not alone on this journey. You are surrounded by a community of fellow lightworkers, old souls, and chosen ones who recognize and honor the divine spark within you. Most magnificent chapter of your existence is not behind you. It lies gloriously ahead, waiting to unfold with a beauty and purpose beyond anything you have previously experienced. Trust the journey. Embrace your calling. The universe awaits your full awakening. The best is truly yet to come.